now we have seen the formation, structure, aims and achievements, as well as the functions of the United Nations. We also saw the United Nations system, where we were able to understand that there are 6 principal organs of the United Nations through which it functions. They are the General Assembly, Security Council, International Court of Justice, Trusteeship Council, Economic and Social Council, and the Secretariat. Now, we have seen 3 of these principal organs, namely General Assembly, the Security Council, and the International Court of Justice in detail. In this lesson, let us delve deeper into the other 3 principal organs, namely the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, and the Secretariat. Let us start with the Economic and Social Council, which is also known as ECOSOC. Now, the ECOSOC meets twice a year at its headquarters in New York, and it is consisting of 54 members who are elected by the General Assembly for a term of 3 years. Now, over here we can see the various ECOSOC members convened in the assembly room of the council. Now, the ECOSOC exists as a principal organ of the United Nations to achieve its various economic, social, and cultural goals, and to also deal with the issues in these fields. Let us see how the ECOSOC functions to work on its aim. Now, ECOSOC promotes economic and social progress of humanity. It also solves social and economic issues such as illiteracy, unemployment, among others. And most importantly, ECOSOC acts as a coordinating body. Why is that so? This is because the social, economic, and cultural goals of the United Nations are too broad for ECOSOC to deal on its own. For this exists the various specialized agencies of the United Nations such as UNICEF, WHO, and UNESCO, who, while are independent in structure, act within the ambit of the United Nations system. And this is where the ECOSOC comes in to coordinate the functions of these specialized agencies. Next, let's look at the Trusteeship Council of the United Nations. The United Nations formed the Trusteeship Council immediately after the Second World War. This is because they felt that a need exists to help various territories around the world which are non-self-governing to have a government of their own. Therefore, the purpose of this council was to ensure proper administration and development, especially the development of self-governance of various trust territories. But what are these trust territories? We'll see trust territories are a status given by the United Nations to such non-self-governing territories that were either mandates of the former League of Nations or belong to nations which had been defeated at the end of the Second World War. The United Nations took up trusteeship or made these territories its own dependents after the Second World War to help these non-self-governing territories on their transition to having their own government and full independence. The Trusteeship Council, in fact, is the only principal organ of the United Nations which has achieved its purpose. As we can see, a Trusteeship Council managed to secure self-governance for all the trust territories by the year 1994. What happened in this year? Well, you see the last trust territory of the United Nations, which was the island nation of Palau, which we could see on the map here. This was the last trust territory of the United Nations, a part of the former trusteeship territory of the Pacific Islands. But this got its independence in the year 1994 and also joined the United Nations as a member state. That is when the Trusteeship Council realized that its purpose has been fulfilled, and then it suspended its operations. However, this council is not permanently closed, as there is a clause that if a requirement ever pops up, the council will again meet. Can you answer this question? When did the last trust territory of the United Nations gain its independence? Was it in 1995, 1994, 1993, or 1992? The correct answer is 1994. Finally, let us look at the Secretariat. The Secretariat is the administrative organ of the United Nations, and it is headed by a Secretary General who is appointed for 5-year terms by the General Assembly upon the recommendation of the Security Council. Antonio Guterres from the country of Portugal was appointed as the Secretary General in the year 2017. Over here we see a picture of Antonio Guterres, who was appointed as the Secretary General of UN in the year 2017. Now, the Secretary General, apart from being the Chief Administrative Officer of the United Nations, also has some important functions. We already have seen his role in a previous lecture. Let's quickly revise that now. The Secretary General oversees the peacekeeping operations of the United Nations. He also drafts important reports and studies for the United Nations. He organizes the various conferences of the United Nations, and finally he mediates on the behalf of the UN when it comes to international disputes. Therefore, he is an administrative officer, a diplomat, a politician, as well as the face of the United Nations. Now, since the Secretariat is the administrative organ of the United Nations, it is nothing without its staff. The Secretary General himself is responsible for the appointment of the staff of the Secretariat, and this he does in a manner where all the 192 member countries are properly represented. But why 192? Are there not 193 member countries in the United Nations? This is because the Secretary General himself is from a country, and therefore that country is adequately represented. For example, Antonio Guterres is from the country of Portugal. So with that, we come to an end of our discussion on the principal organs of the United Nations. In the subsequent lessons, we will be seeing an expanded understanding of the United Nations system and also the various specialized agencies of the UN. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers, or to get access to all our 5,000 plus amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it is rewarding too. So register for free now.